All right, let's get busy doing this daily chart S&P 500. Universe indicator, just real quick on this. Look at this. It's suggesting, bam, go down hard. Market's doing the opposite. Market is hit all-time highs today, 58.46, which eclipsed the previous one of about 58.30. Yeah, 58.30. So market's still very bullish, has re-engaged, hasn't touched the bottom. Guys and gals, that's bullish as all snot right there. That is super bullish. And so this cycle low that happened here is kind of right in this area here. Now it's doing this. I said before, I thought the market looked weak here, but the market will do what the market does. But I did say a few weeks back, I thought 5,900 was possible. I think even 6,000 is possible. And this pullback coming down into here may not be as deep as we think, but it probably will happen. It may just be one of these deals. Not sure we're going to get that right there. Maybe we get that, maybe we don't. Hard to tell right now. You can see over here it did the same thing, right? Came down, basically track sideways, came down, boom, re-engaged, took off, and then it had a huge decline, went negative momentum on the daily. So we'll wait to see what the market tells us, but for now this looks very bullish. Market's strong like a bull, baby. All right, let's go look at the trade of the day. Where was that? You know how we got to satisfy those microwave people in the world? They want it now. They want it fast. If they don't get it, their panties get real tight in a bunch. They start crying and flop around like a fish out of water. They got to have it now, now, now. So we're going to give the people what they want. Give it to them now. 15-minute chart. Well, what do you know? There's a good entry right there. 5:30 in the morning, a 15-minute chart. But I tell you what, let me get rid of the universe indicator. It doesn't work really well in these. It's not meant for intraday charts. Get rid of that. Let's go look at the 5-minute chart first. We'll come back to this if we have to. 5-minute chart. What's going on here? There might be a better entry here. And there is. Look at this entry. Oh my gosh. What a beauty. Happened this morning pre-market. Y'all know what I'm going to say next, right? I tell all my members, if you're not up early in the morning, you're often missing the big trade. And here it was right exactly at 4:05 in the morning. Now, it's true the SMI is high here, right? But that's why we don't look at just one indicator. You can see that the MACD went positive here on the 5-minute chart. Okay, but you're like, okay, should I trade? Yes, it's positive on a 5-minute, but this looks peaky. No problem. You can wait it out. You know what you're looking for? That, where it re-engages, never comes down, touches the bottom, and goes ballistic. Yeah, baby, enter. Now, do you get out right here, all this low stuff? No. You want to know why? Look at the momentum. It's above the zero line. You stay in it. It's above the zero line. What happens pre-market? Blast off. So think about this. Let's take this even from up here. Let's say you entered like over here. Okay. Well, we'll call it 57.98. All the way up to 57.35. So it's 35 and 2. Well, guess what, folks? Guys and gals, 37 points. Now we can't, I shouldn't say we can't. We'll divide by 2, 15, 16, 17, 18. Guess what? That's 18 and a half. So we'll make it 185 without the decimal, right? That's how you do it. All right, 185. 3,700. Half of that, you got it. 1,850. 3,600 plus 250s makes 3,700. Okay, that is your profit for the day right there. One contract E-mini by waiting for this entry right in this area. This tells you, look, I think there's something here to trade. The SMI confirms it. Maybe like not even an hour later, you're in. You're making huge bank. That's how we do it. That's how we do it here. Trade of the day right there. Better than the 15-minute chart. That is the monster trade of the day. Huge money. Let's go over the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. Guess what? If you missed the 4 o'clock one, you got one here at 5:30. Okay? Look what happens. It's the same scenario, right? You get the alert. It looks peaky. You're a little nervous about it. What happens? Up, doesn't touch the bottom. Doesn't touch the bottom. Guess what? Somewhere right in here. I'm going long, right about in there. We'll call it 5,800 all the way up to 5,830. That's 30 points. Half of that, we know what that is, 15. Add the zeros. $1,500 bucks. Okay. Obviously, the one earlier in the day was more profitable, but this is also profitable. Okay, so if you snooze, you lose today. Huge money. Those are the trades of the day. Okay, that's it for you. One shot and you're done. Slackies of the world. The rest of us are going to go check out the rest of the products. Let's move on to the rest of the products here. Go back to the daily chart. And we're going to go look at the Dow Jones Transportation. Let's bang through these. That's right, I used the word bang. Bang it. And let's get rid of GIS Plus. Yeah, Dow Jones Transportation make a little bounce here. Looks like it found a bottom here to me. And then down. Okay, probably what's going to happen there. Russell 2000. Tracking sideways. Nothing like the S&P 500. Having a hard time getting going. Chem up still has a bias going down. Just struggling. It's on the struggle bus. It's trying to get going, but it can't. October 15th is 6 days away. Maybe it gets down into here and does a little bouncy bounce. Yeah, maybe it does like this. Okay, we'll have to wait to see. But the Russell 2000 is struggling to make any kind of serious gains. Just sliding sideways, but with a downward bias. NASDAQ. Pretty much tracking the S&P 500. They're doing the same thing. Today's October 9th. So that cycle on the 8th, gone. It happened back here a little early. Bing bong. Looking like it wants to go to 20,500. NASDAQ's heading for that, 20,500. There is something there October 16th, so we got to wait to see. Does the market pull back real hard coming into this cycle low right here? It looks like there's something there. Is it going to happen? So far, no sign of weakness in this market. Bang on, as they say. Let's look at the Nike 225. Again, a reminder, I think it's October 28th, CME Exchange is going to have micro Nike 225 and Japanese yen 225, Japanese yen micros, sorry. So expect that. Should be cool. Nice product to trade. Nike 225 is extremely bullish. Up here, positive momentum. Re-engage just like the SP 500. Look at this monster. Just going. No sign of that happening yet. No sign of that. At some point, you would think the pressure of the U.S. elections is going to pull this market back, but hasn't happened. Japanese yen. Looking at the E-mini Japanese yen. What do you know? Still taking the big nosedive. But bam, it is now, for all practical purposes, it'll probably be negative momentum tomorrow. This has not found a bottom. Still going down. To me, it's clear there's another cycle in play here. Looks like it's lining up with those indices, right? It definitely looks like this. There's going to be a bottom over here somewhere. Somewhere over here is going to be a cycle low, which looks very much like what we're seeing in the expected cycle lows and indices, which are ignoring it. But the Japanese yen is following that type of cycle low pattern. So we'll set up a new cycle low once it gets the bottom gets established. Right now, it may be like this, right? It may be something like here, like it goes like this, maybe. I could see it maybe coming out to there, October 30th. I know it's kind of hard to tell. Kind of hard to get a feel for this. Could be even right there, October 18th. There's a little something right there. If I come back to there, it looks like it's October 16th, which would line up with what I'm looking at here. Is this? I get the thing to work right. I'm looking at this little low right here. Okay, this one's a little off, runs a little long. There is a little something there. So there could be a cycle like that we're just, for right now, I'm not going to put it in until I get a better feel for the anchor, okay? But yeah, it's probably there. All right, we're going to look at the euro dollar. The Japanese yen is amazing. That thing's just getting a beat down. Euro dollar also in a beat down, following the Japanese yen down, 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 past its cycle low. That is not a good sign for the euro dollar. It's well past October 3rd here, and this is just looking brutal. Of course, there could be another cycle like right here, here, like there's another, probably like an interlaced cycle here. Okay, that's like not super obvious, like from here to here maybe. Something like that might be going on. Yeah, it could be, it even could be, well, maybe not. Maybe something like that, super tight, really small cycle. Yeah, there could be something kind of like that, okay? Which would put this cycle at October 20th. So there is a possibility of a cycle there. It kind of looks legit to me. Let me put it in there. This cycle here looks like it's got some legitimacy to it. Let me just take a look at this cycle real quick since we're here. Here, yeah, like it. We're just doing a quick check here. Here, pretty good. Here, yeah, this bottom's good. Here, it's not bad, but it ain't great. Here, yeah, solid. Here, a little late, but okay. There's something definitely right there too. So guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the last 7. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, so I think this cycle is legit. Little small cycle there. We'll put there October 20th. So it looks like that's where this is possibly headed. Okay. Which could be exactly what we're seeing in the Japanese yen. Right? That same October 20th kind of date. So let me put that in there. October 20, change the color. What I do for my members, you know? What I do for everybody, even the general public. Getting freebies here. Freebies! You bunch of slackers. All right, so that's that. It does look like it's trying to bottom, but it just, you know, that looks like that's going to go negative like tomorrow. Okay, we could look at the weekly, but I'm not going to do it because we're just doing dailies here. British pound. It has a cycle of October 14th. That makes sense. That's more in alignment with what we just looked at. That kind of makes sense to me. I'm just re-looking over these cycle lows. They're kind of okay. The green one. They're not great. Just okay. I wouldn't call that green cycle very strong. It's kind of a hit and miss cycle. I don't like hit and miss cycles. I want cycles to have a high hit rate ratio. This one's So I'm not going to touch it right now because I think that's probably as good as I can make that cycle. That little green cycle. So October 14th could go out to the 20th. This also looks like it's trying to find a bottom. But again, the British pound looks like it's stronger because its momentum was much higher. But in the next few trading days, it could go negative within the next week. If this finds a bottom and does one of those, then, you know, we'll reassess. But it's headed negative, headed towards negative territory. Let's look at, let's get into gold. We'll do silver, we'll do crude oil. Goldilocks has been taking a beat down the last few days. It finally gave it up here. And trying to find a bottom, but isn't there yet. There's more to go on this, I think. Maybe one of those deals. This is interesting because there's cycle low the 28th, one of the 26th kind of was there. That's not a good sign for gold. Not a good sign for gold. I think we're going to break below 2,600. We might get down to 20, let's see, whatever that is right there, like 2575 area. The next one down there is 2,500. It could do it. It could hit both of those. This looks weak to me. But we're going to wait to see if we get a bounce. Old bounce-alicious. Okay, but this cycle, boy, that is not a good sign for gold. Okay, but gold has been extremely resilient. Every time you think it's going to give it up, it does the old bouncy bounce. Okay, so gold. We are going to look at the weekly on this one. I'm interested, curious. Oh yeah, look at this way up here. Oh my gosh, monster bullish territory. So there is room for this to decline, right? It could do this. Wow, it could do this for quite a while. If it grabs hold, you know, is it going to do one of these and just pause and go back up? You know, just do the track sideways thing for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. Okay, October 13th, that's that one. Next one's way out there in probably like January, February, whatever this is. Yeah, February 9th. Okay, October 13th is the cycle low in the weekly chart. Okay, it makes sense. Makes sense. I don't think we're going to get a big cycle low here. I mean, it could happen. Could. When I say big, I mean price won't decline. See how this price didn't decline here? Didn't decline. Just said, okay, yeah, I know there's a cycle low there, but guess what? I'm not going down. I'm just tracking sideways. SMI can drop all at once, but I'm not just tracking sideways. Okay, so back to the daily. I'm inclined to think we're not going to get too much of a drop, but election, how will elections affect just products, period? All products. It might just affect like so much uncertainty, regardless, even though gold's considered a hedge against, the world blowing up, it's still, even gold could take a hit, right? So you just never know when you have so much synchronicity, across products. Every product gets affected. And I've been talking about that for the last few weeks. Watch out for a lot of products, indices, commodities, futures to temporarily get a hit and go down because they're all synchronizing. Okay, I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but it might. But gold looks extremely resilient to me, and I'm not convinced it's going to take a big hit yet. Okay, looks like silver. Then we'll do the crude oil. Silver, not quite as bullish. It's got hit pretty hard here. Of course, as we talked about before, silver is both a hedge against inflation and but also it is an industrial metal, so it's kind of got the double whammy thing going on. It's taken a bigger hit than gold as far as the size of the move. It has crossed over on the momentum down here, looking at a little bit of red, still in the positive territory for momentum. But I mean, silver could come all the way back down here to $28 or 28 points. Technically, this is points, not dollars, but whatever. Okay, 28 points. Right, but I guess this does translate to dollars. This is one of those products that's kind of weird. I guess this really does actually translate to US dollar. When people look at this price, this is approximately the spot. So I guess this is both points. One of the few products is both points and US dollars. It's both. Okay, I think I'm right about that. Silver looks like it's got more to go. That's where I'm headed with that. I think it's not quite done with its bearish tendencies just yet. Let's look at crude oil. What is happening? What is happening? Well, it made its nice run coming out into this cycle low. Coming out of the cycle low. Now it's taking a smackdown. I could see $70 happen, maybe even 67.5 here. Let's get this. I could see 70 or 68 happening here. It could happen, but we just got to be careful. This looks like it's going to go positive momentum. Is it just going to do one of these and then return to negative? That, I don't know. With the Middle East still kind of on fire, and Iran, which represents 4% of the world petroleum, crude oil may just have temporary pullback and then go even higher. I think the longer the Israeli-Iranian war goes on, the greater chance crude oil will increase in price. Okay, so the next cycle low for this is way out here. October 27th. Let's duplicate that, put it over here. I think it's October 27th. No, it's got to be November 27th. It's got to be November, right? Let me look at that again. Yeah, November 27th. Okay. I'll keep this one in there for now. When was that cycle low? Look at that, guys. Was that cycle low spot on or what? October 1st, right on the button. Bang, 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 bang. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, bam. 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 Look at that. Two of them. There was two lower wicks here. One there, one there. Look at this cycle low. Sweet. Sweet. Become a member. $7.99. You get streaming charts for gold and S&P 500. And, of course, you get cycles like this on all those products. Amazing. The real power of the membership is going to be in the hourly charts, where you get to make the big banks every day, or most days anyways, maybe not every day, but often, and the nightly email. Okay, the daily charts are nice for investors, but not so good for traders. So become a member, $7.99. The link is in the description. Read the instruction, become a member. Stop being such a weenie head about it. Let's look at, I guess we're looking at corn. Corny corn. October 10th, tomorrow, cycle low. Yep, looks like there's more in this. May run a little long. May run past that cycle low. May get down in here for a little bit, kind of wallow sideways, and then come popping out of there. Okay? With the hurricane that Helene that smacked North Carolina, which, by the way, FEMA now has been confirmed by many people. This is not a conspiracy theory because we have many people on the ground that have talked about this. I have many people that have eyewitnessed this in North Carolina and have commented on other social media platforms, not stinking YouTube that censors and shadow bans everybody. Okay, other real platforms that said they saw FEMA blocking and help, aid, and supplies, and arresting people, saying you're interfering with the federal program. You know, these damn leftists, man. Let me tell you something. There's going to be hell to pay. Mark my words. The vengeance is the Lord's, and it's going to happen. The leftists are going to get it. They're going to get it hard. Y'all dug your own grave. You're going to get it hard. It always ends bad. Evil raises its ugly head. I mean, can you believe it? These people stopping other Americans from helping Americans, and they're saying you're interfering with federal aid. You mean you're slow ass 1 week late and still not helping people? You know, there's reports that they actually bust in illegal immigrants into that area. Yeah. And the $750 they're giving to people is just a loan. If you don't pay it back, they confiscate your land. Okay. So we know what's going on there. Same thing they did in Maui. Folks, they're trying to confiscate these people's land. And FEMA is filled with a bunch of leftist douchebags, along with all the other executive branch agencies. And mark my words, I'm telling you right now, this is not even about politics anymore. The left is I'm telling you guys, there's going to be hell to pay. It's just a matter of time. Just look throughout history. Every time you get this amount of evil and this amount of oppression and this amount of hurting people, eventually, and I know a lot of people don't believe in God, that's fine, that's your choice, but eventually God hears from heaven, he hears the cries of the saints, and he's going to respond. Look what happened to Hitler. You know, these people, Trump's like Hitler. Oh boy, he's horrible, he's Hitler. Really? His first 4 years of presidency, I don't remember him oppressing people. I'm trying to think. No, I don't remember him oppressing people. I don't remember him telling FEMA not to help people during disasters. Right. He's a Hitler, but his first 4 years, he was a great president. Okay. He didn't do any things that all the left says that he's going to do if he gets elected. In other words, it's a BS bullshit lie. We all know it is. But I'm going to say this right here, right now. For the real Americans, I got a message for you. You better be well armed, because if Kamala T gets into the White House, there will be a lot of Americans that have to defend themselves. And second, you better be vigilant, because no one's going to come to your rescue. The police aren't going to get there in time, and you can be damn sure that the feds are going to do everything in their power to oppress American people, especially those that are vigilant and wish to defend themselves. They're going to work overtime because the federal government is now run by Marxist globalists. Don't make any mistake. That's exactly what's happening. You know what astounds me? I'm in rural Texas, and what astounds me, there's a small percentage of people in rural Texas that want to vote for. I seen in their yards, right? They put up their political signs. I'm mostly in Trump territory, but I see a few people that put up Harris and Walz, and I'm just like, these people. If you are knowledgeable enough to put a political sign in your yard, you're knowledgeable enough to know the policies of each of the party, right? Both Trump and versus Harris, right? If you're going to put a political sign in your yard, you're also aware of, their policies, right? And then they can't be ignorant of the fact that illegal immigrants are attacking people. That just astounds me. The way I view all this, when those illegal immigrant gangs like the Venezuelans, armed gangs, when they come crashing into your home, as I said yesterday, I'll say it again, they're not going to stop and ask you if you voted Democrat. And when you're battered and bruised, or unfortunately some of you get murdered, okay, but if you happen to survive, take a good look in the mirror. Because the only person that put you in that spot is you, because you voted for it. Don't forget it. Mark my words. You're going to have a lot of Democrats going to be very sorry they voted Democrat. That chicken or rooster is going to come home to roost, and it's going to pay dividends. Mark my words, it's going to happen. So I leave Americans with this. You better be well armed and you better be vigilant because no one else is going to do it for you. You notice I didn't say go out and commit violence. I didn't say that. I said be well armed and be vigilant. All right, let's move on to XLP. Corn looks like it's got more to go. Down. XLP, ETF. Yeah, a little bouncy bounce here. Looks like it's trying to find a bottom. But, geez, I think it's going to be hard to stop this this momentum that's heading southbound. And maybe it will and survive this. It's got October 20th is still 11 days away. I think it's going to struggle here a little bit to really, it might pop up like this, and I think it's going to still do one of those. This is probably not done. We'll keep an eye on it. I think I covered everything. I want to just finish up with this. For the smart people, my opinion is regarding the economy, both the United States and worldwide. Yes, I still believe there's going to be a massive, massive collapse in the U.S. economy within 10 years or less. And you all know why I say that, because the $35 trillion in national debt, you can't get away from it. It is going to crush the U.S. of A. It's going to crush it. So I'm saying that because cash is bad, folks. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, great, I'm going to go crypto. No, I'm not saying crypto. I don't think crypto is going to hold up. I think crypto is going to have a hard time holding up when things get real bad. Okay. But I do think you should have a significant amount of your assets in hard assets, real estate, gold, silver, this kind of stuff. Okay. Yes, we still need cash. Okay. To function on a daily basis and all that kind of stuff, or things that convert to cash quick, your cards, your ATMs and all that stuff. Okay. But don't think you're safe if you have assets that only convert to cash. In other words, stocks, bonds, whatever you're trading. That brokerage account, man, I'm not saying don't trade, but if it were me, I'd be siphoning off some profits and some of that money you have right now to hard assets. I'm being serious. Okay? Because if I find myself in a position where I have to trade silver for food and water and whatever else, okay, I do what I got to do. I don't know if that day's going to come. It may not. But I would just say be a little bit better prepared. You know, and when the world economy or the U.S. economy gets hit real hard, you know, it's not like you can go down to the store and say, here's some silver, give me a loaf of bread. It doesn't really work that way because the stores will just, like, who knows how that all works out. If you go back and look at World War II, you know, if you don't know the history of World War II, well, go take a good look at it. Study it, look at the pictures, okay? Because that could be where we're headed. I think within the boundaries of the continental USA, I said this before and I say it again, especially if Kamala T gets in there and the global Marxists, you get further entrenched in the U.S. Yeah, I do think there'll be gunfights. I actually think that's a very real possibility. I think there'll be gunfights in USA. And it's going to go beyond the scope of just gangs, right? It's going to get pretty serious. Americans are going to be forced to defend themselves. I'm not just talking, and I know a lot of people think, oh, it's just white people think that way. No, this affects all Americans. I don't care if you're black, you're brown, you're white. Okay, if you're a bona fide American, like I said before, Venezuelan gang members, armed gang members, international criminals, moving drugs, sex trafficking, all that stuff that they're doing, trafficking in firearms. Okay, and that's just the Venezuelans. Imagine all the other ones that are coming across the border. They just arrested an Afghan man, I think FBI yesterday. You know what's funny? You know, I mean, not real funny, but kind of like ironically funny, haha, is that the FBI and the DOJ work overtime to oppress American people, but then they go around arresting an Afghan man because he plotted to attack a bunch of Americans, like for this election, like he's going to attack a bunch of Americans. These people are so freaking compromised, the DOJ and FBI. And they won't even come out and tell the truth that they're being run by the globalists. You know, and that the top brass is being paid off by the likes of Soros, directly or indirectly, right? I mean, you know, give me a freaking break. These people are such asses. So that's my take on that. I honestly believe that if Kamala T gets in the White House, this is going to be an extremely rough 4 years. If you think the open border situation is bad now, just wait. All right, I'm going to finish off right there. It's a long video already. Become a member, $7.99. I got some other videos coming up that won't be trading and financial related. We'll be talking about some firearms, some cool stuff that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some dry fire practicing. I might get into some competitions here in Texas because I really love to shoot. We'll talk about all that. I'm not sure if I'm going to start another channel for that or do it in the same channel. We'll see how that goes. But for now, God bless everybody. Happy trading. Talk to you all real soon again next time.